Now we're going to welcome a guy that is always there for me, and he was at my 30th anniversary party just a couple months ago where he jammed with Peter Criss, and he joins me now live from the West Coast. It is Ace Frehley. Congratulations, my buddy. How are you?
Thank you so much, Ed. You know, my phone and my email has been completely bombarded with thank yous and congratulations. Yeah, but prior to that, a few days ago, it was all about the fire in New York at my recording studio.
Yeah, before we talk about the hall, that your house there has made news here in New York for a while. First about whatever was happening with the finances of it, and now that it burned down. And is everything okay? Did you have any valuables in there? Anybody get hurt?
Thank God no one was hurt, and I had a friend that was house sitting in the studio. You know, most of my valuables were out of there a while ago. You know, since I moved out to the coast, it was just storage of stuff that can easily be replaced. You know, all the high end gear and guitars were gone. So,
what happened? What caused the fire, Ace?
A tree, from all the bad weather, a tree had fallen down in the backyard and landed on the electrical wiring, which led to the studio, shorted out a circuit box, and that heated up the wires in the wall and, set the place on fire. It was like an inferno in there because I had, sealed up all the windows because I had turned it into a recording studio once I purchased the property. And, I had pretty much made it like a fortress, and soundproofed it, and that worked against, the fire as far as, putting it out. It was almost impossible.
I was there with you a couple times, and I remember that you had unbelievable memorabilia from Kiss out and around throughout that studio. Did most of that salvageable?
Yeah, like I said, when I moved out to the coast a couple years back, the most of that stuff was put in storage, in storage lockers, and some of it's out here. But, like I said, most of the valuable stuff was gotten out, thank God, and no one was hurt. So, I mean, now it's just, insurance claims and all that other nonsense.
Right. Well, let's talk about some good stuff here because obviously everybody's ecstatic about you guys finally going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tell me about the first time you heard the news. I know I was texting with you the night before saying I was pretty sure it was going to go down. When did you get the official word?
I actually got a phone call from John Ostrowski, my assistant, and he gave me the good news a little after 9 o'clock out here, and I heard that's when it was let loose in New York right after midnight.
Yeah, it was supposed to be announced with a press release on a Tuesday morning, but I know the writer from Rolling Stone put out a story on Monday night, and that's when everything came out. Exactly. It was around midnight New York, 9 o'clock Pacific. Ace, let me ask you, because people like me and so many other Kiss fans over the years, we really dwelled on this. We were really upset that the band was passed over for all these years before finally going in. Did any of that ever enter in your mind? I mean, were you ever thinking about it? Were you ever bummed out about it? Did you really care, or was it more the fans that were pissed off about it?
It's a great honor, and I'm very, very excited about the ceremony, and April 10th is going to be a wonderful, wonderful evening. But, over the years, it's something that, really didn't occupy my mind very much. I had more serious things to contend with. But I know I remember reading many times over the years how upset the fans were, and they were petitioning the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so on and so forth. But, it wasn't something that, rented a lot of space in my head, to be honest with you.
What can you tell us now that a little bit of time since the announcement has happened? What have your conversations been? What do you know? What is the latest information that you've been told about what's going to go down?
It's going to be great.
At least at this point, right?
No, I have, I always try to take the high road and be optimistic and hope that everybody's going to, come to the bargaining table and do the right thing. Sometimes I get disappointed. But, I have a feeling everything's going to work out. I mean, I spoke with Paul and Gene, and, I know they want to perform with me and Peter. You know, I'm just not sure, you know, how much they want Tommy and Eric to be involved. But, you know, since they're not getting inducted, you know, I'm just going to let that play out, you know, with the hall and management and attorneys and all that stuff. And, you know, I'm just excited about getting back with them and doing a great 3 or 4 songs, you know, and you know, I think it's going to be great. You know, I'm hoping that everybody's just going to do the right thing.
Well, that's just it. Do the right thing. And, you know, everybody's saying the right thing right now, but we all know this is a ways down from happening. And this could, you know, unfortunately go sideways a lot of different ways. And it's an awkward thing, if you ask me, because, as you said, and clarify this for me.
We know how you feel, Ed.
Well, listen, as a result of how I feel, you know, the other 2 guys don't talk to me, so make sure you save me a seat by you, will you?
Will do.
But I mean, here's the thing. Just to be clear, because, you know, and I know this for a fact because the Hall of Fame told me, only the original band is being inducted. You, Peter, Gene, and Paul, right?
Correct.
Okay. So it would stand to reason, and I have nothing personal against Tommy and Eric, but it doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense, and it's not surprising me that you're telling me that they would want them to play with them, but that makes no sense to me because they are not being inducted. Now, I know in the past other bands have done that in some way, shape, or form, but it just, I don't know, it feels weird to me. I don't understand why, when you have this incredible moment and the 4 of you guys are being celebrated, how you make that turn in there.
Yeah, well, look, you know, every band is different, and, you know, you got to take every case, you know, handle it differently. You know, Van Halen is not Kiss, Heart is not Kiss, you know, the Eagles are not Kiss. You know, Kiss is 4 distinct characters that me, Paul, Peter, and Gene originated and, you know, nurtured through the, you know, the first 10 years of the band. So, you know, you have to look at that, and, you know, where Kiss is now, you know, that's fine, and that's the way it is now. But, I mean, what we're celebrating is what Paul, Peter, Gene, and Ace started back in 1972. 73, I don't know. When did we do it, Ed? 72, 73. What was it, 74? It's been a while, Ed.
It's been a while for all of us, man.
40 years next year. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, I was talking to Peter the other day, and Peter was saying to me that he's like, geez, I knew you so long. You were there since the beginning. And I go, well, not quite the beginning, Peter. I'm not that old. You know?
You know, we're all walking around here with crutches. And you know.
I was like, I've been there a long time, but I don't know if I was there in the loft in 72. I would have been 8.
You're killing me.
So, when did Gene and Paul call you? Did they call you together? Did they call you separately? What can you tell us?
They called me today. We had a very nice conversation. They congratulated me. They actually have been trying to get a hold of me since the announcement, you know, but I've been in the studio working on my new record for E1, so I wasn't available. But, you know, they tracked me down today through the, you know, Doc McGee's office. And we had a nice conversation, and it was very up and very positive. So I'm just going to stay positive and hope that, you know, I know for a fact that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame wants the 4 of us to perform in makeup.
Oh, they do?
Absolutely. That's what they want, and we'll see how it plays out. You know, I'm hoping that everybody's just going to do the right thing and celebrate, you know, the 4 original members who started it all.
Well, and that's exactly what should happen. How do you feel about wearing the makeup again?
Well, I think it'd be a gas, you know. I'd have to lose, you know, 10 or 15 pounds, but, you know, but that's easy in 3 months, you know.
Right. When was the last time you put the makeup on?
Actually, you know, come to think of it, the last time I believe I put the makeup on was when I did the commercial for Dunkin' Donuts.
All right. That's right. I forgot about that commercial, actually.
Yeah. When was that, Ed? What year was that? Come on, you're supposed to know this stuff.
I'm bad. Well, he's quizzing me here. Stump the trunk.
I think it was around 2006 or 7.
Yeah, it was great. You set the sparkling guitar off and the whole thing. I do remember that. So would you, when were you able to discuss with them like what songs you'd play? Has it gotten that far yet?
We didn't get that far, Paul was having lunch with his dad, I'm not sure where Gene was, it was just, more of a, just a congratulatory call. And, after the holidays, we'll sort it out and figure out, how we're going to do it. I'm just hoping that everybody's going to do the right thing, and let's focus on the 4 original members in makeup, because that's what the fans want to see, and that's what they're going to pay for a ticket for.
Well, and listen, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff thrown at you and Peter from that side recently, and you even threw something back on my show at them and a couple shows recently. So you feel that kind of all that has kind of been put on the back burner, that you were able to, did you talk about any of that? Was there any need to clear the air, or was it like, let's get through this and make this the right thing? Did you get into any of the things that Gene's been saying about you, and Gene's been saying stuff about me lately too?
Yeah,
but...
I really didn't want to go there. I hadn't spoken on the phone to Paul Gene in a while, and I just wanted to, keep it positive. They were calling me to congratulate me, and I thought it was, it wasn't the time or the place to bring up anything that, was, negative. So I wanted to keep it up, and, there'll be more dialogue, after the holidays, and, I'm just hoping everybody's going to do the right thing and do what the fans want to see,
Well, and that's just it. And especially when you say that you sound like you're open to the makeup and the hall wants the makeup. It would be beyond ridiculous to try to bring out Eric and Tommy, especially if with the makeup involved. I mean, there's already confusion and people upset like myself about them wearing your makeup, and then to introduce that. I mean, what would they do? You're in makeup, they come out not in makeup, you're looking in a mirror at a guy dressed like you. I mean, it would be insane. It would be insane. There's no way to do that anyway but what you're saying with the original 4 guys, and that's it.
It isn't a rock concert. It's 3 or 4 songs, and I don't have a problem with Tommy and Eric being there out of makeup if I'm in makeup, because, they're a big part of Kiss today. They had nothing to do with the beginning of Kiss, or, nothing to do with the designs or the costumes or the makeup, but, they're a part of Kiss today, and it is what it is. I don't control that. But, this is about the celebration of Kiss and how it all began and started, and it should be honoring the 4 original members. And if those guys want to come up out of makeup and do rock and roll all night with the whole cast of the show, that would be a great thing. They deserve a little.
Well, I agree with you on that, and I have actually taken it one step further, and I said that the way I think it should go is that it's about the 4 of you guys, but that anybody. Obviously, Eric Carr, unfortunately, is no longer with us, and Mark St. John's no longer with us. But there are other guys like Bruce, and as you said, Tommy and Eric Singer, and Vinny, if anybody can find Vinny, that were part of the story, and at some points, really important parts. So to have them there, sitting at a table. Maybe even Paul or Gene acknowledge them for a second from the podium. That makes sense. But, and as you said, if you maybe jam at the end, but I mean, to do anything more than that, to me, it flies against what this is really all about.
Yeah. I mean, everybody deserves, credit for what they did over the years, and it shouldn't be discounted. I agree. I agree with that, but I'm not going to wear the makeup and have Tommy wearing the makeup.
Oh, that's
not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
That would be ridiculous. Let me ask you this. You just mentioned the jam at the end for Rock and Roll All Night. Is that what you just – I mean, everybody thinks that's what it would be, but has that been already established?
I think that's what everybody wants. Nothing's written in stone at this juncture. Everybody's just trying to – everybody's excited. It's the holiday season, so everybody's throwing around ideas. But that's what I believe is what they're shooting for and working towards. And I think that would be great. It would be a celebration of Kiss and, the whole celebration and all the other groups involved. It would be a wonderful ending note.
Yeah, and it's a celebration of rock and roll. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm looking at the other nominees that are going in with you on this thing. I mean, it'd be kind of fun to see Hall & Oates, Cat Stevens, and Linda Ronstadt singing rock and roll all night.
I think it'd be great. Ironic, I just found out from my manager, Dave Fry, that my attorney, Peter Paterno, manages Linda Ronstadt and a couple of the other clients. So he's definitely going to be there. He's probably going to even get his own table. It's going to be a special night for him, as it is going to be for many people there. It's going to be a great night. I'm really excited.
And also, a lot of people brought this up to me, and I think this would be really cool. I mean, I don't know. You're saying the hall wants makeup, and of course the fans would want the makeup too with the original four guys. But what's funny is that if you didn't do costumes with the makeup, you could easily go up there and do it dressed to kill style, like wear suits with just the makeup. That would be pretty cool, actually.
I have to shave off my goatee, though. I mean, what's this world coming to? How can I hop on my motorcycle without my goatee?
You're going to have to do that either way. I don't think you can rock the goatee no matter what with the makeup.
Yeah, well, I had to do it when I did the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, so, I'd absolutely do it, for this great honor that's been bestowed upon all of us.
Yeah, and of course, you guys are going to have to rehearse. I mean, you're going to end up having to get a couple days, I would assume, here in New York, where the four of you guys are going to get in this room together and rehearse at least 2 or 3 songs. I mean, everybody knows. I was at the MTV Unplugged taping in '95, and everybody knows what happened when you and Peter walked out. And I mentioned this a couple times. People have to know what was going on. 1995, Kiss had just made a brand new record with Eric Singer and Bruce Kulick in the band at the time. They're about to release it. They brought out Ace and Peter, as everybody knows, as history shows on the tape, for a song or two at the end. I was in the audience. The crowd went ballistic. And from there, they scrapped the album that they were supposed to put out and went out on the massive reunion tour with you guys. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but what I am saying is that no one can possibly understate the avalanche of excitement that's going to happen when the four of you guys walk out on that stage together. Do you think, and are you open to more things after this if it goes well?
Like I said in Rolling Stone, never say never. Anything could happen after that night, and I don't want to speculate at this point, but, who knows, We're going to make rock and roll history one way or the other, right, Ed?
Would you like to do more? Would you like to at least do a show, or would you like to, do something bigger than just a few songs with these guys, or you won't know that until after you do it?
Look, if something was presented to me in the right way, anything's possible. That's as far as I want to go on that. I'm working on my new album. It's going to be released next spring. I got a single coming out probably right around the time the ceremony is going to be happening. And, E1's really excited about the new record. And, so who knows what's going to happen.
And
I'm not going to scrap my record, I can tell you that right now.
And you're also working on another book, too, right? Yes,
sir. I have several chapters written, and I'm already kicking around titles for the new book. But we talked about it the last time, What was I going to call it? Some Regrets? No. No Regrets 2 is the working title.
Well, listen, man. I mean, I am obviously really, with all the fans, extremely excited about this. I said to you earlier this week on the phone, I don't know how much they keep putting the right bands in this thing after all this time. I may not have much more to yell about anymore, but I'm glad that, and you answered me back perfectly. You said you'll find something, and you're probably right.
Well, yeah, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has redeemed themselves in the eyes of a lot of the rock and roll fans in the world, and it's going to be good for everybody. It's going to be a special night. I think this is the first time they're doing it in an arena. 15 or more thousand people. I mean, it's a real arena. This is a first for them too.
Well, what's going to happen here? And when Metallica went in the Hall of Fame, that was the only time I went to a ceremony. They invited me and they brought me there, and I went with them. And they did it in Cleveland, and it was, Metallica dominated the event because they were, the band everybody wanted to see. To think how that happened, and last year Rush dominated that event, but I don't think the Hall of Fame has any idea what's coming down the pike with you guys in April in an arena in New York City. After being shunned for 15 years, 95% of the fans in that building are going to be there for one reason, and it's to see the original 4 members of Kiss. It's going to be madness there. I don't think they have any idea what's coming. And let's also be honest, there's no way they'd sell out that arena. The arena's going to sell out instantly because of the 4 of you guys reuniting to be there. There's no way they're going to be able. They could take this show into a full arena without. All respect to the other nominees, but let's be honest. I mean, it's going to be a madhouse.
Well, you remember Dodger Stadium?
That was on Halloween, yeah.
That was the opening of the reunion tour, right?
No. That was Tiger Stadium was the opening of the reunion tour.
Tiger Stadium,
Dodger Stadium was
Halloween. I remember what it used to be at.
Make sure you talk to me before you write that second book, all right?
Yeah. Oh, more than once, Ed. Yeah, but, Tiger Stadium was insanity. I'll never forget that. I felt like I was in the time machine.
Yeah, I was at Tiger Stadium. Yes, I remember that as well. And, I'm telling – and listen, the last thing I'm going to say is, for the last time I talked to Gene was a couple months ago in L.A., and he sat there, and for the last 10 years, they've been doing this push about it doesn't matter who's in the band, it doesn't matter who's behind the makeup. Gene looked in my eye and told me that a couple months ago in L.A. Well, this master plan that they've been pushing for the last 10 years, they're going to find out really quick when the 4 of you guys walk out on stage that it still matters to a lot of people who's behind that makeup. So... and I say that with all respect because I love all eras of Kiss, but this is a snowball coming, and I think they know it, which is probably why, as I've suspected, they're going to try to have some representation of the current band. But if it's respectful, hey, great. But to me, as you said, this is about what you 4 guys created. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I can only hope, that they're going to do the right thing. You can't have me and Tommy both in makeup. You can't have Eric and Peter both in makeup.
No.
That's going to be a farce.
Yes, agreed.
So, hopefully the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame will, talk some sense into those guys as far as that aspect of the show. And, I'm hoping, believe it or not, I have faith in those guys,
All right, buddy. Well, I'm I'm hoping for the best, and I'm happy as heck for listen, regardless of what the other 2 think of me, I am happy as hell as a lifelong Kiss fan that all 4 of you are going in, and of course, you and Peter being friends, I'm extremely excited for you guys because this I think they've tried to rewrite history a little bit, and this is reminding everybody what the real history and the real importance of what you guys, all 4 of you, contributed, and you made those characters, you made that makeup, you made that music, and to me, that's what this is all about. So congratulations, and thank you for taking some time to talk to me and coming on the show and talking to the audience.
Thanks so much, Ed. It's always a pleasure. I'm friends with Peter, but I'm friends with Paul, and I'm friends with Gene. Maybe in different degrees. I haven't had as much contact with them over the years, but we all started something really special that's continued, for 40 years almost now. So we're going to celebrate it in April, and I think it's going to be a great night.
And how cool is it? Listen, man. Give yourself some credit too. You're still standing here to be here for this thing because you're how many years sober now? 7, is it?
It was 7 years, September 15th, so I'm working on 8 now, and I've never felt better. You know, the new album that I'm working on, incidentally, is really geared more towards like the 78 album, my first solo album. You know, I'm going for that attitude, you know.
Who's playing on it with you?
Right now, you know, I've been pretty much doing most of the tracks with just me and my drummer, Matt Starr. I got Chris Wise from The Cult on a couple of tracks. And, you know, but I'm pretty much, you know, doing it the same way I did it back in 78 with Anton. You know, just me and the drummer in the studio, then start overdubbing.
Well,
you know? I mean, there's going to be some guest stars on it before it's all said and done. And, you know, I'm not going to drop any names at this point. But, you know, I've already spoke to Slash. I spoke to Mike McCready from Pearl Jam, a few others. And, you know, it's going to be great. But, you know, let's stay focused on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And what a week it's been, Ed. What a week I've had. Jesus Christ.
But it's all good stuff, man. And that's
my head's spinning, you know. It's just, you know what's that old saying? When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, it does. Well,
you know, but, you know, I have faith in everybody, and I think everybody's going to come to the table and do the right thing.
All right. Well, let's hope so, and let's hope that continues, and keep us updated as best you can as we go forward. And I'll do my best when I get real news to share it with people when it's the right time to share it. And I know there's a lot of excitement in the air, so we'll see where it goes. You know, speaking of that 78 record, I had a request for Snowblind, so I think I'll play that right now as I let you go. But again, thanks, and most importantly, congratulations, and we'll see you soon. And do this when you go up on stage and make your announcement. Have you started preparing your speech yet?
No, I wing speeches. I'm never, you know, every time I try to write down a speech, I end up, you know, stumbling over the words. I just talk off the top of my head, so, you know.
Well, you know what you should do? You should bust out the smoking flute when you go up there, just for old time's sake.
Oh, man. Hey, Ed, thank you so much. I want to wish you and your family, the whole cast, the whole United States of America and the world, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and keep on rocking, mother.
Well, thanks, man. Merry Christmas to you, and, of course, Rachel as well, and send her my best, and I will be talking to you soon, Ace, and again, thanks for the time, man.
You're welcome, brother.
All right, I'll see you. Congratulations, buddy.